So much for free labor, Jillian mumbled as she wheeled the second cooler full of hamburger, brats, and hot dogs across the kitchen floor to put into her refrigerator. Why do I listen to people? It sounded like a great idea when Lindsay suggested a meet, greet, and clean party at the house. I would be able to meet my neighbors and get us started cleaning the house. Think of all the free labor, she said. We'll supply drink, soda, water, beer, and you can supply the meat and buns. The rest of the neighborhood would bring a dish to pass. It'd be like tailgating without the tailgate. So far, this free labor has cost me over $1,000, counting the meat, buns, plastic silverware, paper plates and cups, 2 porta potties, and 3 dumpsters. I don't like the idea of all these people prancing around my property either. I better see some progress or I'm never speaking to Lindsay again. Jillian knew that wasn't true, but it gave her a feeling of some control. In her head, she heard Wheeler say, "What were you thinking? Your worst nightmare, people touching all your stuff? You did it this time, Jilly." She even heard his teasing laugh. "Oh, stop it. You no longer have a say in this." What am I doing? Just talking to myself, according to Megan. I don't care. I like hearing his thoughts and voice. Who knows, maybe it is him from the other side. Or I could be going crazy. After a restless night's sleep, Jillian hurried over to her house the next morning, only to find that things were already being set up by Lindsay's family and another family. "She's here," someone hollered, and they all stopped what they were doing and came over to her. Lindsay gave her a quick hug. "Are you excited?" Lindsay said in a soft voice. More like terrified. "It's hard for me to meet people and have them all over my property." Lindsay squeezed her hand. "Don't worry, nobody bites." Oh, I take that back. Kayla and Tony's son Nate is just getting his teeth. He bites everything. By this time, everyone had gathered around them. "Everyone, this is Jillian, the owner of this soon-to-be gorgeous mansion. First, I'll start with our boys. This is Justin and this is Jason." Jillian had never seen 2 people who looked more alike. She'd have to remember Justin was wearing more preppy clothes, dress shorts and a polo shirt, while Jason was more casual in cutoffs and a Cubs shirt. "Thanks, guys, for cutting that grass. It couldn't have been much fun." "No problem," piped up Jason. It became a game to see who uncovered the creepiest gnome. "Who won?" asked Jillian. "I did," said Jason. "I found the one with his tongue hanging out, and it had a rat's tail, too." "Funny," Jillian said. "That was the first one to go." "No way," both boys shouted and high-fived. Lindsay continued with introductions. "I'd like you to meet my sister Janice and her husband, Neil O'Day." Janice looked like a younger version of Lindsay with longer hair. Neil waved and said, "Hi," then went back to assembling a huge grill. "The 2 rugrats running around," Lindsay continued, "are Iris and Ryan, my niece and nephew. They live down the street in that tan ranch house." "You know," Janice said, "the one with the skateboards and bikes lying in the front yard?" She laughed and continued helping her husband with the grill. Hank walked up, followed by Dennis. "You'll be shocked how much we get done today," said Hank. "I hope so," replied Jillian. Dennis mumbled something. "I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what he said." Jillian glanced at Dennis and then at Hank. Hank said, "Pretty lady, that's what he calls you." "That's so sweet," said Jillian. "But my name's Jillian, Dennis. Can you say Jillian?" Continuing to stare at the grass, Dennis mumbled something that started with a J. "Good, Dennis," Jillian smiled, and he sort of smiled back. Then turning to Hank, she said, "You've already put in a lot of work. Where did you get the plastic tables and the chairs?" "The couple in the big pink Victorian borrowed them from their church," replied Hank. "I was shocked the church let Scott and Russell near the tables," interrupted Lindsay. 2 years ago at their wedding, they had a reception like this, only they had ribs and salmon. Anyway, it was late at night, and Scott and Russell were feeling pretty good and got the bright idea of doing a Russian squat kick dance on top of one of the tables. They were starting to really get into it when we heard a crack, and Scott and Russell were lying on the ground laughing their heads off. They were fine, but the table was a goner. I think they were able to borrow them this time, said Hank, because there's a new pastor.